Everybody, welcome into Farm Cooking with Nan. Today we are going to whip real quickly. If you look in there, I've already whipped up one chocolate cake. I've got that in the oven. I'm trying to get a few things done right before this storm hits us, and it's coming. I'm telling you, I feel like that my body's going to come apart. So I always feel it before it hits, so it's coming. And like I've got 2 cakes in the oven right there. This is just for my family and to have something. We don't know how many days, you know, we might not be able to bake or cook. We might be without electricity or whatever. If you're out there, I hope y'all are ready. I'm going to put in 1 box. This is like a praline, a butter pecan praline cake. And I'm just putting in super moist butter pecan cake mix. And this is by Betty Crocker. And old Betty ran out on its date. And it's about 6 months past the date. So I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to put about, this is baking powder. There's 1. About 1.5 to 2 teaspoons is what you want to use. And this recipe calls for 1 cup of water. And so I was just going to say, I normally exchange that for milk. But you know what? I've got a full jug of milk, and I'm trying to keep it intact until this hits. Because I don't know if I can get another jug. Because from what I hear for the little delivery person, there's no bread. There's barely a few gallons of milk left on the shelves. So I'm trying to make this work. I'm trying to make it work. And the recipe called for 3 eggs. And I'm going to put in 4. And put 4 eggs in there. I'm going to beat this up real good. Let me make sure I got everything in it. Yeah, 1 cup of water. And it called for 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. I've been going back and forth thinking, do I want to use applesauce or do I want to, I think I might just use applesauce. I'm trying to go a little light. One of these little container things is 1/2 cup. So this recipe called for 1/3 cup, but you know what? I'm just going to put 1/2 cup in there. This is just plain applesauce, unsweetened. And you know that, I'm just trying to be very meager with my things that I'm using in this. You know, I could do without that, but maybe I might need that oil for something else. So now we've got 1 cup of water, and I put 1/2 cup of applesauce in there. You can put 1/3 cup of oil, or you can put 1/3 cup of applesauce. And I put 4 eggs instead of 3. And I added a little baking powder to it. Okay, so let's get this beat up and we'll be back. We got our cake beat. Now, like I said, today I've been working on cake mixes, and I got a little bit longer on that one in the oven. Okay. Now I'm going to put in 1, and this is a 15.5 ounce little tub of rich and creamy coconut pecan. I'm going to put this in there. I started to say I might not have to beat that up, but I'm probably going to have to put it back on after I already washed the beater. You know, unless I can get it to mix up. I'm telling you, there ain't nothing better than homemade. And I might make some homemade for the one that I've got in the oven. It's a different one. It's a chocolate with some good stuff in it. But I think this is going to mix okay. Well, yeah, it softened right up with a little elbow grease. And sometimes, you know me, I don't have too much elbow grease. I chopped up, I'd say there's close to 1 cup of pecans here too. And I'm going to put those in there. I'm gonna fold those in. I sprayed a smaller dish because I know that that type, what is it called? Betty Crocker, whatever. It doesn't really, I'm out of my pan coating, so I'm going to a smaller dish so that I'll have a nice thick batter cake. I just don't like, let me see. It's a little more than what I thought. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. I know that's a lot in that little dish. This is probably an 8 by, maybe an 8 by 7 by 8 or something like that. Don't think I've ever, but I'm hoping that I'll get a nice tall cake with some lift. Pop this in my warm, my hot soapy water over here in my sink. Okay, 350 degrees. Let me get that off of there. And let me get that in the oven, okay? Have to put up my blueberries I was snacking on. Whew. Get me a little antioxidants in there. Okay, let me tell you what I did. I took let me get my spatula. Stuck so tight down in there, I can't pull it out. I did a half a stick of butter and I browned it. I did brown butter. And if you say, well, Nan, what's brown butter? You put your butter on and you let it melt, and then you keep it just simmering and you stirring until it starts to turn brown like that. It gives it a much richer flavor. And then I'm going to put a 14-ounce can of condensed milk in here. This is one of the hardest things to get everything out of, isn't it? Hope y'all got you plenty of water. Get you some milk, bread, water. I'm telling you, I believe, you know, if the people's power lines have gone, you know, have gone down, people are going to be without electricity. You need water. You need something to heat your house. You need something to cook on. Make sure you got your propane. Maybe if you've got a grill. Please watch out for the elderly. Please watch out for your neighbors. Okay, now I've got this stirred up a little bit. I'm going to put it back on the heat, and I'm going to bring it up till it starts to simmer. And as soon as, I just don't feel like pulling my stuff over there, young'uns, so please don't be offended. But I'm going to pop this on, and I'm going to let it check my cake. Boy, it's rised up there pretty good. Hope it don't go over, you know. Probably should have put it in the 9 by 13 inch baking dish. Okay, I'm going to bring this up to a simmer. So I'm going to put it back on the heat and turn it back on. And as soon as it starts to simmer a little bit, then I'm going to add in some chopped pecans, about half a cup. You can put a fourth a cup, whatever you want. And then when I get that goody stuff on there, I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of coconut on the top. And we'll have our cake ready, won't we? As soon as it comes out. Oh, and here's the two. I've got this in there, working on another one. Okay, the dogs are all excited because it sounds like Papa just pulled in outside. So if you hear them barking, please don't be alarmed. As soon as it came up to a simmer and started simmering around the edges, I added in my half a cup of chopped pecans. You can use your favorite, but I think the pecans along with a little bit of coconut in that tub of frosting will work really good. Okay, I'm just going to set this over here and keep it warm. It's pretty warm. I'm going to keep it lightly warm until my cake comes out, and we'll poke some holes in it, okay? Okay, just got this out of the oven, and it stayed in an hour and 10 minutes, and it's because I put it in this smaller dish. But look, it never went over or anything. I'm gonna punch some holes, and this is all I've got. I'm gonna try to make them big old nice holes for Papa to get some good stuff down in there. I don't want my, it was done pretty well everywhere, but right in the center, it took a little bit longer. And I just kept checking it with a skewer. This is going to be a moist cake. I'm hoping I don't lose none of my good stuff running off the edges or anything. It's good. Okay. Now, take my warm praline icing and put it right through the middle first, because I don't want it to run off the edges. Sort of press it down into those holes. Now you might want to make yours in a 9 by 13. My least favorite is that cake mix I used. It has less ounces is the problem. It has nothing to do with the cake mix. It has to do with it being, I feel like they've sort of robbed us on the ounces they give us. That's why I recommend using the cake replacement. That will add in there. Add a little bit of ounces to your cake and keep it from being such a flat looking thing. Now don't go off there. Ooh, that cake is hot, and the icing is too. That was hot. Sorry to take so long putting this on, but I just don't want it to gush off the side. If it would have just been going on the 9 by 13, it would have I could have just poured it on there, and it would have, you know, been held in by the walls on that dish. I got a little drippage on this side, but it's going to be good. Oh, one thing that I didn't show y'all is in my icing, I added, once I took it off, I added a teaspoon of vanilla to my icing. Now don't stop that going off there, okay? put that right down in that little hole right there. Y'all know I have diabetes, so. Oh. That's hot. Okay. Put some water in this. While we're talking just a second, but your cake will be delicious. I'm gonna sprinkle some I got a little more coming over here. I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit of coconut, and you don't have to put it on there, but it's just gonna be so little, it's almost like for a little, just to look good and taste tiny. It just tastes a little tiny bit, okay? Okay, that's all. That wasn't but maybe 2 tablespoons. But if you put it in a big dish, in a big cake thing, you can put as much or as little as you want. Now, let's get a quick picture. And now, this is still really, really hot. So I'm just going to scoot it over a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to get one tiny little bite out of the corner. Oh, so hot. If you don't make this one, you're missing it. It's rich, and it could be that I think it's rich because that I'm not used to having sugar, but it is scrumptious. It is delicious, okay? So if you get a chance, make yourself one. Well, I'm gonna hurry up. It's getting about supper time. I gotta feed Papa. And so I just want to tell y'all how much I love y'all. Be careful out there. Be careful, out on the roads and stuff. Stay home if you can. Stay warm. Stay safe. I want you to know I'm praying for y'all. And I know y'all pray for us too. We're in the line of getting some of this junk too. So enjoy looking at the snow, but just be careful in it, okay? And the ice and stuff like that. Well, I love y'all, and I want you to know how much the good Lord loves you, okay? And He just never forget that. No matter what we go through, He's always right there beside of us. He's with us during this storm. Just reach out and talk to Him. He'll be with you, honey. Well, I will see y'all next time, Lord willing, okay? Maybe we'll do another recipe. Be safe.